Welcome to Using Computers and the Internet for Private Investigators. This is brought to you by nrtsonline.com. My name is John Cook, and I will be your instructor today. Today's course is divided into 5 sections: promoting your business with the Internet, using free sites for investigative resources, subscriber services that can make you money, software and data retrieval, and miscellaneous computer information. Websites. Why do you need one? It is your link to the world. A website is out there advertising for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can expand your services beyond investigative. Offer other things on your website, such as products you've developed. Repackage and resell information. It is inexpensive name recognition. Like I said, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, your name is being put out in front of hundreds of thousands of people. It makes you competitive with the big dogs. All the larger companies have websites. If you don't have one, get one. Let's talk about using links to promote your business. Join the Chamber of Commerce. Most Chamber of Commerces have a website. On their website, they will place a link to their members' websites. This is a very good way to get your name out there in front of a lot of people. NationalPIDirectory.com, FindPIs.com, iProcessServers.com, and TennesseeInvestigator.com are all online directories that advertise and promote for private investigators. They will place a link to your website on their page for a very small yearly fee, and they get a lot of attention and a lot of traffic. Once again, excellent advertising for your business. Let's talk about using free sites for private investigators. We're going to start with some very basic things here. The first is telephone number sources. Whitepages.com. This is a location where you can find addresses, phone numbers, websites, and you can also do reverse number lookups. Yellowpages.com. This is excellent when you're looking for business listings. Anywho.com is another telephone and reverse number lookup. Searchbug.com is an excellent source. It has telephone numbers, business listings, also an excellent reverse number lookup. Even if you have an unlisted number that you need to reverse, before you use a pay site, check all 4 of these sites out. And the reason for that is because unlisted numbers usually were not always unlisted. Maybe 3-4 years ago, the number was a public number, which a person only had changed to unlisted within the last year or so. Now, depending on when one of these websites updated their files, there's always a chance that that phone number would still be listed there. The files have not been purged or updated to change this number to an unlisted number. So what I'm saying is, before you pay, always check the free sites first. I have found many unlisted numbers on Whitepages and Searchbug. Continuing with free sites, we have some excellent free Social Security information sites. Rootsweb.com has an excellent Social Security death index lookup. Simply enter the Social Security number, and through the Social Security Administration's death index, you can find out if this person is deceased, and if so, where. Investigative.own.ca. This is a Social Security number validation and state of issue. Everyone knows that the first 3 digits of a Social Security number tells you the state that that Social Security number was issued. It's very helpful a lot of times when you're looking for missing persons or skips. This site, you can enter the first 3 digits. It will tell you the state of issue. Also, you can validate and find out whether this is actually a legitimate Social Security number or not. The last is TennesseeGeneralWeb.org. Just type the URL in exactly the way you see it on the slide. Social Security number state of issue is also located on this site. Continuing with free sites for investigators, mapping and directions. MapQuest.com, Expedia.com, and Maps.live.com are 3 excellent sources for mapping and directions. It's a good idea when you start a case, especially if this case is out of town, to look at the maps and get the directions to the addresses that you're going to be going to. This will also help you determine the amount of mileage you can anticipate on a case and help you better prepare a retainer for your client. These are all things you can do ahead of time to make the process a lot smoother. Also, on maps.live.com, they have available satellite imagery. Now, I've used this site, and the satellite imagery is excellent. It gets down in some cases in urban locations to within 20 yards. Continuing with free sites, let's talk a little bit about criminal information. There's a lot of criminal information available free of charge on the internet, and new sites are coming online all the time. An excellent place is tbi.state.tn.us. This is the Tennessee Bureau of Investigations. Their site is being updated monthly. It has an excellent place on there to look up felony offenders, also out-of-state probationers and parolees who have been transferred to the state of Tennessee, and a ton of other information. They also have available on there access to the statewide criminal records that you can order for a fee. FactFind.com is Investigative Resources International. Thousands of links on this site to free records in every state of the Union. The next, rweb.hamiltontn.gov. This URL will take you to Hamilton County, Tennessee, which is Chattanooga, and their criminal and civil court records. This is an unbelievable site. When you bring it up, you're actually looking at the DOS screen that you would be looking at were you sitting in one of the offices at the courthouse. A lot of counties have started putting their criminal and civil records online free of charge to the public. You need to know which ones these are and make use of them. Also, Knox County, which is knox.co.gov. This site has property tax searches and links to county courts and law enforcement for the city of Knoxville and the county of Knox County. Other free sites you can use as a private investigator: searchsystems.net. This will direct you to free record searches all over the United States. ohwy.com. This is a U.S. city and county locator. A lot of times you're looking for records that are stored at a county courthouse, and these records may be in the state of Missouri. You have the name of a city, but you don't know the county that the city is located in. Go to this site. You can enter a city's name and state. It will bring up and give you the name of the county. It will also give you things like the local news media, the local sheriff's office, police department, courthouse, and library addresses and phone numbers. Excellent source to use. EyeOnCrime.com. This is a sex offender search for all states. Other useful information for private investigators: www.state.tn.us. Health Licensure Index. This is all licensed medical personnel in Tennessee. An excellent resource to use when you're looking for persons in the medical profession, whether it be doctors, nurses, or RNs. Bowl.com I've got on this slide just to get you to stop and think for a minute. Think outside the box. The internet has completely changed society as we know it. Almost every organization, almost every sport, every hobby, every school, you name it, has a website now, and they love to post their information. We used this particular website to crack a workers' comp case. We managed to get a lead that an individual that we were watching belonged to a bowling league, and he routinely bowled in tournaments. We were actually able to go to this site for free and look, and lo and behold, there was our guy and his schedule. It also gave us other tournaments that he had bowled in and what he had scored. 2 of these having been during the time when he should not have been bowling. We were able to use this evidence in court. So think outside the box before you pay for information. Check all the resources out on the internet. The next is Find Tennessee Lawyers, www.tba.org. Now you need to type the URL in exactly as you see it on your slide, but this is a membership directory for Tennessee lawyers. I used this when I first started my private investigation business to print out a mailing list of attorneys in my area that I wanted to send brochures and cards to, just to let them know I was in business. Let's talk about subscriber services that can help make you money. Now these are sites and databases online that will cost you. They'll charge you a fee. The fees are very small, and the information that you'll get from these sites is extremely accurate and up to date. The first is Florida Criminal Records. This site is ran by the state of Florida. So this is a database accessing all of their criminal records for the entire state, and they're up to date. CourtSearch.com is North Carolina records, and they also have access to a lot of other states. Infotel.net. This site charges a little bit different. They charge $10 for 2 hours, and there's a lot of criminal information on there for about 31 states. Continuing with subscriber services and criminal records, we have the Tennessee Statewide Felony Database. This is maintained by the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. This website, tbibackgrounds.com, will give you access to felony records for the state of Tennessee. You can order online. The records will be emailed to you, usually within 2 to 3 days. Next, we have Texas State Records, which is located at records.txdps.state.tx.us. This is the database for the state of Texas. The records here you can purchase online immediately. The records will come up on your screen. You can print them out from your office. Continuing with subscriber services, criminal records, we have sled.state.sc.us. This is statewide records for South Carolina. This is a new site and very comprehensive. Washington State now has their criminal records online. You can get to that site by going to this URL. Washington State Patrol maintains this site. The criminal records cost around $5 per search. COJusticePlus.com is Colorado State Records. Here you can find statewide criminal records, also civil, and Department of Motor Vehicle. There's no membership fee, and the records usually run around $5 per search. Continuing with subscriber services, let's look at real estate and tax searches. The site that I prefer is netr.com. This has a link to every state and then to every county in that state and their property records. I have it listed under subscriber services because a lot of these will charge a small fee, somewhere around $1 to $2, to search property records. However, there are a lot of states that their counties do not charge a fee at all, and you'll find them for free. One example is the state of Tennessee. Tennessee's property search records don't cost you anything. Continuing with subscriber services that can make you money, let's talk about locating people and personal information. The first, LocatePlus.com, is by far the least expensive and best data source anywhere. They've recently added criminal records, vehicle records, property records, and cellular records. You can take a cellular phone number and reverse that number on Locate Plus to find the registered owner and address. You need to check this site out. It's an excellent source of information. Consolidate Credit Bureau, 700credit.com, is an excellent site for getting credit information for pre-employment. Pacer, pacer.psc.uscourts.gov. Pacer is an incredible source for federal court information. The fees range somewhere around 7 to 8 cents per page. Very inexpensive. This is the federal government's court site. You can locate anything here that's involving a federal crime, which includes bankruptcies. You can get a lot of valuable information by looking at a bankruptcy record. We also offer bankruptcy records as one of our services. You can add this to your menu of services. Let's talk about software and data retrieval and some investigative software. The first is Net Detective. You may have seen this before. They have an excellent CD that contains thousands of links to sites that investigators can use. It also has a lot of form letters on it for requesting information from states. It's just an excellent investigative tool. Also, made by SpectreSoft.com, we have Spectre and eBlaster. Now, Spectre is software that you can use if you're doing investigative work concerning computers, or you're providing computer security for any type of small company. You can install Spectre for them on their computer systems, especially small businesses where they have maybe 10 to 15 computers that are networked. Spectre will allow an administrator to look at each computer to see what the operator of that computer is doing. It will also print out logs and reports showing what that person has done, all the keystrokes, websites that have been visited. Businesses are routinely going to this type of service now to provide security for their computers, and you can be the person that they hire to install this software. eBlaster I've got on here because I just want to make you aware of it. This is a program also made by SpectreSoft, which is it's highly intrusive. eBlaster can actually be emailed to a person, and when that person opens the email, eBlaster actually installs itself on their computer, and from that point on, each time their computer is booted up and they go online, eBlaster emails a report back to the person that sent the program. This report gives them all the keystrokes, which would be passwords, credit card numbers, emails, websites been visited, anything that person has done on this computer. So let me warn you, if you ever open up an email that either had some type of executable file or a photo attachment like a JPEG, and you tried to open this up and your computer goes to the blue screen and you have to reboot, that's what happens when eBlaster is installed. So you want to make sure that you have good firewall protection on your computers. You want to make sure that you're routinely running virus scans to find out what is on your computer, because as you can see, this can actually be emailed to you and someone else have access to your computer from a remote location. You do not want to use eBlaster yourself as an investigator to email to a person's computer. Falls right along the lines of eavesdropping and wiretapping. Easy Recovery Professional Edition. This is the software that I recommend when you want to retrieve deleted files from a computer. When a person deletes files from a computer, the files are actually not gone. They still remain on the hard drive. They simply have a designation, or say a line drawn through them, that tells the computer this is a deleted file. You can take a program like Easy Recovery and run on the computer, and it will retrieve the deleted files, put these on a disk for you, and then re-delete them on the computer. But it gives you a chance to recover deleted items, maybe that were accidentally deleted, or for an investigative purpose to see what files have been deleted on a computer. Keystroke capture hardware. We've got here that it's available at Radio Shack, but it no longer is. We'll be changing this information very shortly, but you can still purchase a keystroke capture online at many locations. Spyshop.com is one. Keystroke capture is simply a device that plugs into the back of your computer where your keyboard plugs in. Then your keyboard plugs into this little device, which is about an inch long. What it does is it captures each keystroke on that computer. You can leave this on a computer for 3 to 4 days or longer and remove it, take it back, plug it into your computer, and download all the keystrokes from the computer that you are monitoring. Truster.com is an excellent source for a software for voice analyzing. A lot of investigators now, and a lot of police departments have started using voice analysis in place of or in addition to polygraph. So this is a software that you should check out if you're interested in getting into doing voice analysis. Continuing with miscellaneous computer information, let's talk about some hidden files. Anytime you go on the internet and access a website, your computer is going to pick up some cookies and temporary files. They're going to be placed on your computer, and most of these are harmless. But some of them are being maliciously placed on your computer to track information that they weren't intended to do. The best thing to do is make sure you have a good firewall installed on your computer and a good virus protection program. Also, you need to routinely do maintenance on your computer. Most all the Windows systems has a drive cleanup selection that you can choose that will remove the cookies and all the temporary files. It's a good idea to do this about once a week. If you're using AOL, you need to be aware of a small security problem. You don't have to know a person's username or passcode and log into AOL to be able to retrieve certain information. On the login screen for AOL, you'll notice that you are able to access the filing cabinet. This resides on your local computer. The type of information that it stores there is email addresses, people that you've been corresponding with, and people that have been corresponding with you are located here. So you need to be aware that you can passcode the newer versions of AOL to prevent access to those items. Also, it's best to keep those things cleaned out, and if there's information in there that you don't want seen, make sure those things are deleted. But also keep in mind that deleted files still remain on the hard drive. They will always remain on the hard drive until that computer needs that space to put new information. Now that's when your hard drive runs out of space. Then it will start overwriting those deleted files. Or you can purchase yourself a good program such as Window Washer to wash your drive and to completely remove your deleted files. But keep in mind, there's some pretty heavy duty programs out there that claim to even be able to bring back those deleted files. So just keep in mind, deleted files still remain on that hard drive. Thank you for attending nrtsonline.com.